Namaskara Karnataka. I recently visited Hotel Chocolate for a book release event of Dr. Suborno Bose, and I had a nice experience over there, and the ambience was such a great experience for me. And further, all the guests were invited. And coming to the point of Dr. Suborno Bose, Dr. Suborno Bose, founder of IIHM and chairman of the International Hospitality Council UK, launches a book on AI in hospitality and tourism industry. Now, Dr. Suborno Bose explains the gathering.
Namaskar, my name is Dr. Suborno Bose. I am the CEO of IIHM Hotel Schools International, and we are going to launch GPT for hospitality. And today we are doing this announcement in the Bengaluru launch of my latest book, which is about AI in hospitality and tourism with a human touch. And this is very important because in today's world, AI is an important part of our life, important part of the future. And without the knowledge of AI, nobody can progress. So this is the first book of its kind in the world. And also the GPT, which we are launching on 15th of April, will be the first hospitality GPT in the world, where over 75 countries are contributing as far the content is concerned, and this will be extremely useful for the students, teachers, industry, practitioners, and the general public and the food enthusiasts of all over the world. It is called Namaste. Namaste, we have put an AI in the word Namaste. It's called Namaste, and we are all looking forward for the launch on 15th of April. This will be the game changer, the biggest story in our world, and the next generation will gain a lot from this particular GPT.
Yeah, how this book is going to help the industry?
The industry will gain a lot from the knowledge, from the experience of each other, from the question which they can post in this particular GPT app, from the information they want to get. Somebody wants to type, how will I reduce my energy cost? Get the answer. Somebody can type, how I can reduce my food waste cost. They will get the answer. How I can make my guests more happier. You get the answer. So it is one GPT in one place in hospitality, tourism, and culinary.
That was great, and we had nice wine with a delicious food. Introducing the logo of Namaste, which involves AI and human. After that, all gathered to our chit chat talks.
Behind writing a book like this? What made you write a book of this nature? Because I did have a look at the book. I found it very comic booky, which will appeal a lot to Gen Z, Gen Alpha, and new generation. It looks very cool the way the book is structured, the cover, the purple color, and even there's a lot of comic influence to it. So tell me, sir, what's the inspiration behind writing this book? And for a Gemini like you, how did you go about writing it? Because I know you handle multiple things, you do a lot of things. So how did this happen?
Thanks, Shekhar. And so the inspiration came from the students, because the students of today are the leaders of tomorrow, and industry needs thousands of leaders now. All the hotel chains of the country, both national and international, they're all scouting for talents without knowing where the talent is. Because there's this one thing I think the staff of both Sabrina and Kadambari will agree with me. We kind of run for talent, and tomorrow's talent is something we need to think today. If we are teaching the same thing what we taught them 10 years back, then we are teaching them history. We are not teaching them the hospitality industry of today and tomorrow. Yeah. So whenever we have a campus interview, including your South Sina, he comes and says, Dr. Bose, revenue management, you have. Incidentally, he's a Bengali and he speaks to me in Bengali in my ear. Dr. Bose, Bangladesh, revenue management. said, sir, get a specialization, revenue management. So everybody is looking for future. Flashback 10 years back, you look for a great F&D guy like Sabrina was. I knew her for many years when we were over a brand and then in ITC, married now in ITC, sorry, married in ITC. The world has changed now. Everybody now wants progressive, modern young leaders. Not somebody who knows food and beverage or front office. They need hotels, hospitality. I always say you need to know the business of hospitality rather than, how you serve properly or how you serve from left, right, all those kind of gimmick which was 25 years back. Now you need to understand the revenue, profit, guest satisfaction, guest comes back, gives you more money. If guest is happy, he will. This is possible by application of AI and not just by what we are doing for last 5 years. If we believe we are doing last 5 years thing is right only, next 5 years will be disaster. So this book is the inspiration for the students, for the leaders of tomorrow. They need to know what is AI and how AI can help the industry and help them their career.
So students, put your phones down and clap. Spend more time with us. Yeah. All right. Okay, can everybody hear me? Do you need the mic? All right. So before as we continue, I want to ask you, sir, and I want to ask everybody in the panel, Sanchari, including you, because you're the wild card. Sanchari, what is one word you would say when I say artificial intelligence? First thing which comes to your mind.
I think futuristic.
Futuristic, ma'am. What about you?
Scary.
Scary. सब सच बहा रहा है ये हमारी चाल थी सर एस्थेटिक इंटेलिजेंस
I think different.
Interesting. We got so much of we got a very different perspective here, right? About the book, about what AI is. So this conversation.
Value adding to the my work.
Absolutely, sir.
Value adding to my work.
Adding to the my work. He's the clearest by the way. Okay, so like I said, I think there are very different perspectives here. Validation, people are scared, people are complimenting it. We are talking about various words where AI really comes into the picture. But if you look at it, AI is the present and the future, and you cannot avoid it. So on that note, I want to ask you this, sir. I know your birthday is on 16th of June, 15th of June, 15th of June. So I want you to take this book and we'll play a version of book cricket with you. Okay, open page number 16.
15 or 16?
15. 16.
Here we are.
Okay.
Oh, no, it's 17. So this 15, 16.
आपके birthday.
Yeah.
आपका जन्म.
January 15.
15.
So one means 15.
I told everybody, so everybody knows his birthday. You should not miss the boss's birthday. Champagne weapon बाद में boss का birthday याद होना चाहिए. Sir, now on page number 15 we're talking about food waste reduction. I remember you talked about this in the last session when you spoke about sustainability.
Yes.
So tell us a bit about this, this page and what went into writing something like this.
No, I think one of the real pain point of our industry, and this is not for the people who works in industry, but for everyone, is the food waste. Because we have got this problem of food waste all over, hotel, restaurant, cafes, and unfortunately we live in a country where still a lot of people don't get 2 square meal in a day. And we do food waste, not intentionally, but it's a part of the process. So if by putting AI, if we can control the inventory, control the need of the actual food, and by that the chefs can actually produce exactly or almost exactly the kind of food required. So the waste is minimized. It can never be completely 100%, but minimized. I think that's a great thing for the country, for the hotel itself, and for the industry. Because as an industry, we are very responsible industry. We are the industry who do a lot for the society. But I think this is something which we are all working, all the industry leaders are talking about food waste and they're working on it, not just talking. So food waste can be done by application of AI, Shekhar, and that is the easiest way to do. I'll just give you a very small example of 30 seconds. When we go to any big weddings and we go, if we are the last guest after all the drinks, you will still find a lot of food which are not consumed. So if there is good AI mechanism, that wastage can be reduced or minimized. Okay, so that can go to somewhere. And of course, at the end of the day, hotels' balance sheet will look much more healthier because less cost, more profit, good for the stakeholders, good for the shareholders, good for the general managers, everybody's. Yeah, absolutely.
And your perspective
On the food waste or on AI?
on the food waste and AI?
I'll just say one thing on food waste, that's for sure. You know, we have one of our bosses who says, what gets measured gets done. And I think that's exactly what AI does. It's about optimizing efficiencies and your costs. And AI helps doing it. I mean, the reason why I said earlier that it's a very scary thing is because a lot that you want to just under the carpet, and suddenly you have a tool here that is going to make sure that you can't sweep it under the table. So it is scary. It's a lot that we don't know, but we can experiment with and we can get to know. And I think AI harmonizing it with the human element is a fantastic idea and a fantastic topic, and it needs to move forward. It's just something that we need to embrace and move forward.
Sir, what about you? So both of your classmates?
Let me reveal the secret. So, he's 1 year senior to me, and I precede him as far as the date of birth is concerned. 1 day before, 2 days before, 2 days before.
That's why you were asked.
Both of us are Geminis.
Yes. That's why you were asking me the questions.
Yes. I call him Dada. Dada in Bengali is brother, and in Bengal everybody is called as Dada, whether you're young or old or whatever it is. But he's certainly elderly and quite wise, a good friend to have. As far as the wastage is concerned, on this subject of hospitality, my view is very simple. This is a matter pertaining to cost management, optimizing cost, reduction of cost, and that is where it boils down to, and which in turn means that revenue is going to be, the net revenue is going to be better. And from what I know of industries, canteens which run in even factories, the wastage is as high as about 14% every day. We're talking about some of the largest ones. So what do the large organizations do? I don't know about much about the hospitality industry. They in turn circulate this food back to the next batch which is coming in, the second shift or third shift. And what they do otherwise is also send it to charitable organizations so that it is reproduced and better used. And so therefore, as doctors certainly said, wastage should be avoided in all practical ways, considering the kind of human population which goes without food in most parts of the world. And that's about it.
So I have a slightly different, kind of approach to this. First of all, I don't think that we have scratched the surface as far as the utilization of AI is, and very, very much in agreement with you, Dr. Bose. I learn every day, not just from the associates who work with us, but also from a lot of your youngsters and others like them who come into, because they are the next generation, right? So their understanding and adoption of technology is so much ahead of what we have even heard of. Like most of the time I'm surprised by what they're talking about. Where I feel that, whether it is about controlling wastage or whether it is about managing inventories, we are using technology anyways, every day. So, I recently had this sit-down discussion with some of our members of our team saying, how do you think the technology that we use, which is essentially a kind of predictive technology, right? We predict how many rooms will go on a day. We predict how much of food will get consumed. We look at our analysis of how store stocks are consumed. How is that different from what AI will do for us, right? And I think obviously the youngest members of the team came up and said that AI doesn't just look at predictive patterns. It is essentially replicating human intelligence. So it will start telling you, but if we do this, this can happen. And that's where the differences of, using usual predictive analytic technology and actually using AI for it. So I'm not a great expert in the field, but I think, where human ideas and innovation come in, I think perhaps some element of that is perhaps what we are looking for when we say we're going to use artificial intelligence, because that's the difference between, pure statistics and analysis and actual intelligence, right? So in that scenario, maybe, an AI could actually predict that, what, let's tweak what we put on a buffet, or let's tweak what we are doing so that consumption patterns change. And you guide human consumption pattern rather than actually be dependent to what is happening. So I'm excited to see if an AI can do that next time.
I think our panelists have answered most of the questions actually. This was. So we have a video.
So I will just add on one sentence to what Sabrina has said. So it is very interesting what she said. Like human people, team members talking, discussing, thinking, implementing. This is what we call basically human intelligence, or in our word, real intelligence. Now, AI will take it over. Give it 5 years, 10 years, 2 years, I don't know. But AI will take this faculty of human nature, and AI will think like a human being. That is the humanization of AI. Like even if you go to ChatGPT, and we all possibly use ChatGPT to write our letters or speech, and then you write best and say humanize this, and then ChatGPT gives you the second version. Similarly, it will humanize this thinking. So this thinking will not be made by the team members anymore, but AI will do the thinking. And that is not far off, that day is not far off. Now there is a flip side to it. We'll all become slaves of AI.
That's the scary part.
Yes, that's the scary part.
Just as I will have the life.
Exactly. So but then that's a new world we need to live in, and we have to accept that we need to live in. So obviously there is no point, shying away, because the next generation of leaders will be using it much more strongly than now. So I think that is the real intelligence will replace the artificial or advanced intelligence. Yeah.
I think so. That's the reason why we're having this conversation. Can we clap for the panelists again, everybody? I want to see whether everybody's listening. Okay. I also believe change is only constant in life, and I believe I think it's something which everybody in the room feels. Will AI take over your privacy? I think that's a concern which everybody has. As AI systems handle more guest data, what measures, Dr. Bose, from your perspective, or in this book, is mentioned about which are essential to protect
Privacy and actually build trust.
and the battery goes off again because the battery cannot match with our energy.
No, absolutely. GDPR things are coming to India. Data privacy is coming in a big way. Wait for another couple of years, and I think the government is very keen to make the data privacy very strong act. In fact, in countries like UK, where we have got a collaboration with University of West London, even a parent cannot ask for the marks of the student, because the parent do not have the right to ask how much my child has scored. Data privacy. But then we need to be very, but in Indian circumstances that's very common. A lot of parents come to us and say, we don't know how much our students have got. Because if we ask them,
Please don't put Dr. Bose your parents. They're not watching.
So that's the kind of data privacy, and we need to sign a GDPR agreement with them so that there is no breach. But I think Shekhar, this is going to be part of the world, irrespective of AI or not. So data privacy, I don't think there's any privacy. Everybody who uses a mobile phone are naked. We all are.
You just said the truth.
everything the world knows. So possibly iPhone is much better. So shift to iPhone. I use Android. But shift to iPhone is they're much better in data privacy to some extent. But I mean, if you are in the social media, if you are in the groups, so basically, I personally 99% of my calls are WhatsApp calls. I generally don't call on the landline. But you never know who is listening to what, and things have become very nasty. So there's nothing called data privacy now. You all know that you love pizzas or what tablets you have.
We're looking at the plates. So you spoke about AI, but I think something which you also entered in the past is storytelling. Now, how integral is storytelling with AI? Can it complement AI, or is there a competition between both of them? Which is, who's high in the pecking order here? Is storytelling an integral to AI according to you?
So once again, AI is not artificial anymore. Somebody used to say, as Ravi said, it's not about artificial. It's going to be the real intelligence. You can have millions of stories in AI, which a human brain cannot carry. Again, another advantage of a teacher, because all our faculty, teachers, administrator of IIHM, we are giving them very solid formal course of AI in hospitality. Everybody have to finish that module. It's a 6-module course. Already Sanchari have successfully finished that course, and so had Samir. So this is a compulsory for all our faculty as an upskilling. Because if I don't know something, how can I teach? So we need to know what is that. And I think one of the integral part of that education is also how you deliver, which includes storytelling, which includes also examples, which don't come from mind. And AI relieves that. AI is about generic AI. It's about certain things which we do every day. You don't need to do. You can save time. Time is money. I mean, long time back, when both me and Ravi was in Calcutta, and I was with my CA, and Ravi is a much brilliant guy. He went to IIM. So somebody told me, what is the most important thing in life? And obviously the answer is time. Time is the most important thing in life. You ask a real estate guy, he will say space. But I think time is the most important thing in life. By using AI, you can save a lot of time, which you can use in a creative, innovative things, in strategy, in even doing your hobby. Sometimes we don't get time to do our hobby. But if you apply AI, it takes all the mundane things. It takes care of the mundane things. So you get more time for more important strategic things which can actually help the bottom line, which can actually help your company to grow and make the next generation much more responsible. So that way I think it's a great way to save time.
I want your perspective on the storytelling aspect.
So I do believe that it's some ways off, Dr. Bose, because I think all of us have been exposed in some way with new technology, because you keep getting people coming and pitching you different ways in which it can, kind of make your life easier, right? But there are machines, and there are robots, and there is AI now that's creating artworks, and they're auto learning, and they're becoming more and more evolved as time goes. So I don't think that it's an impossibility. What I do feel though, however, especially being from an industry that has a very high human touch to it, is that we also have to be very mindful of the tasks that we are kind of assigning to AI, and the tasks that we are keeping back for human beings, because somewhere obviously even now I think millions of years of evolution can't get replaced in one day. So therefore that intelligence will always be required from human beings to be able to determine what to hand over where. But yeah, storytelling, why not? I mean, I've been seeing artworks that are created by artificial intelligence artists, and they're phenomenal. Like, they would go up on a wall and you wouldn't be able to tell that it's not by a human being. So Yeah, and I was a great science fiction fan as a child, so I don't know how many of you have read Isaac Asimov, but Millennium Man is one of my favorite books of all time, so definitely believe it's coming one day, for sure. Yeah, thanks.
With this book called 1984 is the reality which is happening right now. Now, as she was talking, the interesting thing about this panel is we can agree to disagree. That's the whole objective of this roundtable discussion. We thought us being at loggerheads with each other because you still have to go back home. But I think that's what makes it interesting. So, as a classmate, as somebody who knows his numbers well, so what do you think? How important is storytelling in this entire cauldron of events for you?
I will give a little different kind of perspective, but we'll agree and disagree. Right? The important fact is that storytelling is all about branding, and branding is all about marketing. In this industry, which is extremely competitive, marketing, storytelling, and branding is a very crucial aspect, and that brings in a substantial change. As far as I understand, some part of the hotels where I hold some shares, small little shares, ITC hotels, which is just recently demerged, and Taj hotels. From the balance sheet of number crunching, I find that the marketing spend, apart from the capital spend, is supposed to be very high. Capital spend is the highest. Marketing spend will be at least about somewhere close to the double digit. And those things can be better spruced up because you are going to externally interface with a marketing agency, which in turn boosts your image. So the storytelling that comes through this will reduce and improves the efficiency factor for the hotels while reducing the manpower involvement, because the manpower involvement is limited to some extent. The artificial intelligence will possibly be a brain booster itself. I hope I answered something.
Yes, Sam. Your perspective.
Slightly agree and slightly disagree, but anyways, I think we need to remember that hospitality is where one human deals with the other human. And it's a very high touch market for each person to the other. It's more about the warmth, it's more about the personalization, it's more about what you bring to the table in terms of unique experiences for the guest. I think over here, storytelling, when it comes to the training piece, is a huge part. Today, people are not here to talk about what was written in my academic book. It was here to say, this is my experience, this is how I learned from it, and maybe, if I share it, you're going to learn from it as well. So I think storytelling becomes a huge part. Where AI really comes up is from the perspective that it can aid you to give a more impactful story to the person who you're delivering it to. I think where AI comes in is to be able to really increase the efficiencies and tell you this is where you can lay the accountability. And nothing's going to replace the fact that it's one human to the other and you really need to personalize it.
I just want to add on something that she said. In this book, in each page, I put a human touch. Each page, which is my comic picture anyway, just to make it a little more interesting for the young people. And so I'm holding up page 12, which is a small quote from your boss, Anthony Capuano, who is the president of Marriott International. And he says, AI creates capacity for our frontline associates so that they are spending less time on administrative tasks and they are instead engaging with the guest in the restaurant or in the front desk. How nicely, simply, but simplicity, but this is what AI is. AI is not going to take away any job, just making our team member job easier so that they can be more engaging, human touch. We said human to human.
Yes.
And in fact, Shuja gave me the line, tech and touch. Tech and touch. So that's what AI is all about in our industry. It's tech, but it's also about touch. Without a human touch, tech is useless. Yeah?
Very interesting, sir. From the tech and touch, please, can everybody clap? This is a very interesting quote. So we move on to something more interesting. Offline we had spoken about Viksit Bharat and what the Honorable Prime Minister thinks about Viksit Bharat and how you are also thinking in the same direction in terms of how AI and how the Honorable Prime Minister thinks about AI and how India is going to be the manufacturing capital of the world in terms of AI. So your perspective on this and how does this book really help everyone in terms of AI, Viksit Bharat and the next 50 years for all of us?
So if I'm sure all of you have heard Prime Minister talking in the Paris convention of AI, which was fantastic. I thought if you have not seen it, please go to YouTube and see the video.
Storytelling also.
And the storytelling also, absolutely. And he was co-chairing, which is a great for our country, for our country's Prime Minister in the Paris conference on AI of all the head of the states. But also Dikshit Bharat developed India. So that is what the next aim is. And what really happened is that we should talk about LGBT. Yeah, we do. Okay. So basically one of the things that all of people say is that while Indians are leading all the IT companies in the world, be it Google, be it Dell, be it Deloitte or Oracle, India have not produced a Google or a Facebook. Yeah? And a little bit of a sadness came to us when DeepSeek came from China and almost took over the entire AI ecosystem. Even the NVIDIA shares went by 22%. And but we at IIHM have announced something very historic in the closing ceremony of the IIHM Olympiad. So I'm going to say that to you to end up what we are doing. So we are coming out with world's first hospitality GPT. And that will be launched on 15th of April. On the day of Vaishakhi, on 15th of April, it's called Namaste. So it's Namaste, we have put an AI, so make it Namaste. So it's Namaste, and it comes with a similar Namaste, which is our kind of motive for Indian hospitality. So this GPT is going to be the Bible of all hospitality people, student, practitioner, managers, writers, authors about hospitality and culinary. We already started our work. This is going to change the way hospitality is taught and practiced in the world. And this is an LLM, not an SLM. This will be, so for example, if somebody wants to know the, let's say the best 5 wines of Uganda, everybody knows about France and Spain and Australia, but Uganda, no. You will find it there. Even if you go to ChatGPT and type, you will get wrong answer. Because they have not done a dipstick, but we have done a dipstick. So you get exactly what you want, not that surface kind of answer that ChatGPT gives when it struggles. Most of the time it struggles actually. And yes, like the other day it wrote that the Secretary General of United Nations visited Goa and gave a lecture to the students of IIHM Goa. I never knew that. So I have to actually call my director Shabnam and say, Shabnam, Zura Kulalaski came here. She said, no. ChatGPT says that. Good for me, free publicity anyway. But then that's not going to happen in Namaste. So also it is going to be a very evolving thing. It will go on, adding on. We have got 75 countries who are our partners in the IIHM Olympiad who are contributing to this ChatGPT kind of a product. So you get all the recipes from all the 75 countries, all the wines, everything. And they will all use it. It's all free of cost, not monetized. So there is no kind of premium you pay that much per month. Everything is free. And it's going to be a great contribution to the hospitality of the world. Right now looking for BE partners, but it's quite expensive, as you can understand. But then 15th of April, will see a new sunrise in our industry. From India, from Bengal.
Spoken like a true visionary. Can we clap for him, everybody? I think that's a very good. Now, we've come to the end of this discussion, but before we get Sir to raise a toast once again, which we will do, I want to ask all our fellow panelists 3 things what you're expecting from this book. I know you've not seen the book, you've not read the book, but knowing Sir, knowing his persona, knowing his intense focus towards hospitality, what do you think from your perspective would be the 3 things you would like to see in this book?
I go first, okay.
Because you're on my right side.
So definitely very, very valuable content. I'm sure that there's a lot packed into that book. Secondly, I think some amount of ideation ideas, because I think Dr. Bose is always famous for that. And lastly, I'm sure there's a little bit of magic somewhere, because he's never without his little razzle dazzle abracadabra. So I'm looking forward to that. I'll find it and let you know where it is.
Thank you.
So,
Coming from Dr. Bose, it has to be very intellectually stimulating, very aspirational.
So no pressure. Huh?
No pressure.
Aspirational, and very easy and lucid to read.
I think I'm expecting a little bit of fun quotient over there. So I saw a little bit of the comic caricatures and things like that. I think I'm definitely expecting that. I'm expecting a bit of experience in storytelling to come out. And I'm expecting a wealth of information, because this is an unknown topic to me. I'm just scratching the surface.
Thank you.
So from your perspective, don't use ChatGPT for this, but tell us 5 reasons why they should read the book.
Well, I think I can give 50, but I think first is reality, knowing the reality. Most of us think that like the life is like chalte hua, like chal raha hai, theek hai, earning money, salary, profit, entrepreneur. But you never know. COVID taught us that just a 1 week can change the world. 1 week. So you never know. So get ready for it. Get ready for anything that can happen tomorrow morning. You never know. So this kind of book definitely prepares you to face that kind of crisis. Secondly, as both Sabrina and Kadambari said, definitely knowledge, because we are lifelong learners. So I always tell my student, your degree, the piece of paper, is worth only 3 years. 3 years. After 3 years, all obsolete. So unless you do upskilling, reskilling, knowing what's the world is moving, that degree will never get you a job. You can still become a general manager or whatever, but all the people who have become general manager like both of you have kind of done your upskilling. Gone, like Sabrina was talking about, doing the team, artificial intelligence, sustainability, so knowledge. Third, I believe that you need to talk eye to eye with your children and not look the other way when they start talking about GPTs, the next generation. So let's not get bullied by them.
Or just don't talk with GPT. Talk to your children.
Which is actually very good. You need to come and see. Fourth, I believe in our life, AI would be very important. I'm not talking about hospitality. I'm not talking about tourism. I'm talking about our daily life. AI, tech is going to become part of our life. So I live in Kolkata, rather I put it this way. My wife and my only son lives in Kolkata. I travel and come back in a weekend. And Kolkata is an amazing city, as Sabrina will say yes to me, and Ravi. Only city where at 11 p.m. you can order a bottle of whiskey and it will come in 22 minutes. Not in Bangalore, which you said IT city, not in Hyderabad, not in Delhi, not in Pune, not in Bombay. Calcutta, 22 minutes, Swiggy. And you can see the car coming, oh, come on fast. Technology. Technology is going to play an important part in our daily life. Yeah, it's not about industry or profits. So unless we know about AI, you will never really understand what you have to do next. And last is the world is changing. You want to change with the world? You know the answer. This is the right one for me.
Thank you, sir. All right, now everybody has a phone. Can you just show me your phones, everybody? We'll do a small activity. Everybody, please raise your phones. Okay, I want to do a small activity. Everybody, show me your phones. We're going to confiscate them. Don't worry. Okay, I want on the phone just mention the name Dr. Bose, Dr. Bose, Dr. Bose 3 times. And you will get all the notifications of Dr. Bose about his book and everything. That is ChatGPT for you, that's technology for you. Thank you so much, everybody. It's been wonderful to talk to our wonderful panelists. A great discussion. This is a discussion for the future and for the present. Thank you, sir. You've been as warm and as friendly as ever. Nothing has changed in you, sir. And in spite of writing 3 books, that is, it's lovely. Thank you to our wonderful panelists. Can we clap for everybody?
Heard sufficient on how it's being used to get rid of, food waste or reduce food waste to an extent, or in HR practices, or for a matter that you mentioned that you have, wards which have facial recognitions that are coming up. So if we could get some instances of that sort, when did we see an influx of AI in the hotel segment, in your personal space, in your professional spaces where you work? And what are some talks that are underway for implementation of AI or inclusion of AI in other aspects of the hospitality segment in your workplace?
I'll give you some examples. First, obviously anecdotes follows. So a couple of things which are very important for our industry is, one of the things is energy. Energy is very important cost in any hotels. And like I've been to almost all the hotels of the country, 5-star, deluxe, luxury, and I see there are a lot of opportunity to reduce the energy cost. But energy is one of our very, very big costs in our P&L. Yeah. So I went to one of the hotels, I'm not going to name any hotel for obvious reasons, but I see in that daylight there must be about 300 lights on the corridor of a very large hotel, and I was the only person coming out of the lift. And I told myself, why? I mean, we don't need. There's hardly anybody. So here AI is helping us. We used to put on sensors and all. We didn't really work all the time. Sometimes because it's a 5-star luxury property, people pay a lot of money. But AI can actually make that very specific. It will lit up when a guest comes in much more efficiently than what the sensor used to do in the old time. Similarly, if you go to a public washroom of a hotel, and even if somebody is not there, all lights are on. Now what we have done, when somebody is approaching the washroom, not even entering, the lights go on. So it's not that you enter a dark room and lights go on. No. Before you go, so there is a kind of AI which actually predicts somebody is coming towards the washroom and the light goes on. These are the very important thing because it's huge number of energy, although we are using LED and low cost energy, but still if you add on, it's huge. That's one of the things. We spoke about waste management, we spoke about the security system, but then let me talk about something more interesting, entertainment. Because people come to our industry for entertainment. Yeah, it's a business hotel or leisure hotel, and entertainment is one thing which is now taking long hype. Like for example, if I am in a hotel, which is our hotel or anybody's hotel, I like to see the movie which I was seeing in a plane, rather than what she's asking me to see from her TV. So no more that Amazon stick or no more nothing like that anymore. I can just use one of the place. I just get my mobile sync without all that kind of messy thing which I never understand how to sync it. And it will just take me where I left my movie in the plane. Lot of predictive thing. I know our guest history is very important in our industry. We try to give them what they want. For example, if somebody takes insulin injection, and that's in my book actually, in the mini bar, instead of whiskey, we keep insulin extra. Just in case he forgets, just in case he needs one more extra fish fry, so he can have an extra shot of insulin, which he's not carrying. So you don't need to, repent. You just go and open the mini bar, get some extra insulin, put it here. So lot of predictive thing, as Sabrina was saying, prediction, predictive. And I think one last thing is revenue management, which is all about business. AI is going to change the way we get the bookings, the way we can get upgrading, upscaling the rooms. And one of the things which I've been working for many years now successfully, now we'll do AI. In fact, that's one of my failure. That still now I've not been able to convince the hotels to book a room which I want. Right? I can book a seat in the plane. It can be 1A, 1F, or extra space, what you call emergency exit. I can't book in Sabrina's hotel, 10th floor, pool facing, lovely girls. I can't. So I have to do with the room that she will give me, even if I want to pay. So I'm trying to get that, and if I'm talking with
maybe she will give now.
Yeah, exactly. I was talking with my very good friend Deep Kalra, who runs Make My Trip, most famous of the booking engines. So Deep says, we have been trying to get the 5 stars. If one 5-star comes, everybody will follow. I said, try, I'm with you. So maybe in a hope I'll be meeting some of the CEOs, I'll put this again. So it is possible. There is inventory issues, this issue, but this is possible, and this will be a huge revenue earner. If you want to stay in that room on the 10th floor, you pay 5,000 extra. That is my extra revenue. So if I can give a choice, and AI can do that, because we have failed humanly to do that inventory management, right? So a lot of things which AI can help us in entertainment, in making the guests feel secure, safe, and also in making the bottom line of the hotel profitable. And of course, I must, before I give to Ravi, sustainability is something everyone is doing. ITC does in a very big way. They're very green in everything they do. Right from the Mr. Jogi Devesh's day in Calcutta, I saw how they did the hotels. I think AI will be helping in sustainability, big way.
Finally, we came to our last segment of the video, and there was a cake cutting, and we had a nice time with all the fellow members. And thank you all people who watched this video till the end, and I hope we shall meet in the next video. Thank you for everything. Thank you.